Hey, how you guys doing, man? It's Joe D, and welcome to Share a Beer Show 429. Today is September 12th, 2017, and it's post a couple of things. Well, no, it's post 9/11 day. For those of us that remember 9/11, what is it? 16 years later? Is it 16?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Hard to believe.
16. It's very hard to believe, and we're going to go into that here on this show for sure. We definitely remember 9/11 on this show, and it's the big day of the Apple event. So if you're an Apple fanboy like me, I host this show every single day on a Mac. So every single show, every single recording gets posted via my iMac. So I've either used some sort of various Apple laptop over the years, or various iMacs over the years, and my iPhone and my different Apple TVs and Apple this and Apple that and Apple. So you can expect. Wow, look at this guy. We have more.
All right.
He is in the car.
Live from the Chevy Volt.
All right.
You took my suggestion. I'm sure you would have done it without my suggestion anyway.
Yeah, the power is still off, so yes, I have to take it. I was planning on it, but yes, that was a good suggestion. But nothing.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, the connection is brutal, but at least we can see you.
Yes. Can you hear me?
You're fading in and out bad, but at least we can hear and see you. A very pixelated Mark, but at least we can see you and kind of hear you.
Okay.
So
good.
You should specify pixelated as in visually.
Yes, visually.
Technologically.
Yes. Oh, see, now we've got his thumbnail, so that's actually, a good Mark.
That's better looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got the thumbnail.
There we go.
Mark. Oh, now we're back to the. Oh boy. Hey Tom, how you doing, my friend?
Doing
Hi,
good,
Tom.
man.
Now, yeah, like I was saying though, we will get into those things. I have one little kind of cool beer announcement that we can, or kind of beer thing that we can talk about here later. We've got just tons of stuff to get into today, right? So let's see. Oh, let me put the link. I did put the link in the Google Plus, Andrew.
I was just typing that to him. It's in Joe's Google Plus page.
Okay, so there is the link in there. I think that's how you got on, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah.
I really prefer that way. So if someone could jump in that way, man, that would make me very happy.
Yeah.
I don't want that. That still lingers for me. So, so what are you drinking there, Tom?
I'm just about to crack open the Dogfish Head Worldwide Stout.
Whoa.
Oh, the worldwide. Okay.
I've been aging for a little while.
Is that what version is that?
I think it's a 16.
The 16? Okay, right on.
That was bottled 9/22/2016. I just want to see if I can get any smoke on this bad, Larry.
Yeah, let's see if you get smoke out of it. Oh! He got it. Yeah, he got a little bit. That's awesome.
I've been failing the last couple times.
Yeah, man, you couldn't quite get your cap off, baby. A little too excited, and he. Worldwide Stout is a good one though, from Dogfish Head.
It almost smells Belgian-y a little bit.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, you get the cherries, you get the apricots, you get the. It's almost, you can kind of smell it. It almost smells like his barrel also. And there's not. I don't even know. They don't even put the ABV on this.
Let's see. Let me look it up here.
I was just reading that they don't bother putting the ABV on it because I guess it can vary from year to year and from, I don't know about batch to batch, but
yeah. It's a pretty strong beer. I just know that.
They should still put it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. That's a kind of ridiculous reason to put it. I mean, they should put it for every batch they put out. I mean, there's,
True.
Yeah, it's very delicious.
Let me see. I'm gonna go to the 16 version of that on Untapped here. We'll take a quick look, and then I'm gonna get to Mark's beer because Mark's, you know.
I might not be here much longer.
Exactly. Yeah. So we gotta get to Mark as quickly as possible. Now, this is so this we'll cover this really quick on Untapped. But
That's
plus,
fine.
If you want to cover Mark's first, and then go back to mine if you want.
No, go ahead, Tom. Go, I'm good.
plus a worldwide stout is I mean, a lot of people have had this. Well, not as many as I thought. 15,781 total ratings, 189. This is the 16 version though. This is just narrowed down to last year's version. No longer being produced by the brewery, as you can see. 18% ABV, 70 IBUs.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking dangerous. You can't taste it.
That is, I did not realize it was that high.
That's big.
They always have the. I'm doing another cap. Where's the cap? Jesus, sorry, lost the cap.
And you have a 4.33 rating. Now that goes along with the Tom beer right there. Now Tom's not drinking anything below four stars or four caps.
Yeah, that's right. 4-star Tom.
4-star Tom. Yeah, 4-star Tom. Yeah, I mean, so that's
usually put a yellow cap on anything that's really, really strong. I can't find it now. It's MIA.
So yeah, that one there is a pretty man. I did not realize 18%. Wow, I don't know. I didn't realize. Wow, that is high. I'm trying to see if it gives me a friend score on here just to see, but
yeah, you'll find a couple for me on there.
Ruben had it at one point, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Ruben looks like Ruben's right along with everyone else here. He gave it a pretty high rating. I was just looking for on the mobile version. It gives you the total friend score, not just the overall score for everybody.
Do you guys not get this at all?
No, I get it.
Yeah, I do too. I certainly don't buy it every year just based on the price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could find single bottles of it every year, I would buy a single bottle, but some years I just don't have that option.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get to Mark's beer real quick. So now, Mark, let's make one thing clear. One thing clear, guys. Mark is in his car, and I hope you can notice the garage door. He is in his car, in his garage, simply for power reasons. He's in Atlanta.
That's exactly it. This car is disabled from driving, so do not. I'm drinking and parking in my garage.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. It's a simple power issue. He has a Chevy Volt, which is a hybrid, has a battery, and he's using the battery in his car to power his mobile device so he can get on with us right now. So let's make that clear.
All right. So everybody else around us has power. There's just like this little subdivision or two that is missing power. So I was able to go to the growler store and pick up a growler.
Nice.
And the brewery is Service Brewing. They're out of Savannah, Georgia.
Okay.
And the beer is called Compass Rose.
Okay.
It's an IPA.
Well, IPA, right?
And the nice thing about the growler store is on Tuesdays, they call it $10 Tuesdays. You can get a 64-ounce growler for $10.
Oh, wow.
So that's
Can't
pretty
beat
good.
that.
Anything that's normally up to $15 for a 64-ounce, I'll give it to you for 10. So it's a good. Now I'm using the cup holder to pour. So this is not. Now you will see this. Some of these pickup, some of these good old boys down here, driving down the road with a beer in their cup holder.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, this. Not
that that's right, but
No.
you can. Like in a 25-year-old got a cup holder with.
Yeah.
But you really can't tell the color, but it's a nice copper. It's not hazy. It's pretty clear. But it's a nice, dark golden color. Not really copper, but it's got a nice color. A little bit of orange in it, as far as color.
I'll bet you're the first one to have an IPA in your cup holder.
Mm-hmm. And probably the first one. Yep.
Yeah, because I would assume that the good old boys that do have the beers in their cup holders aren't necessarily drinking something from Service Brewing Company.
No, it's Bud Light or Busch.
Yeah, it's probably like something like Busch Ice Light or something horrendous, man.
Yeah, Busch Ice Light.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't get lacing on their beer.
They don't care about
holders.
lacing. They don't even know what the hell is that, man. Yeah.
If you can't drink it, what's it count?
Yeah. Which they're trying to get the least foam, and they're wiping their nose and to get the foam out of there. Yeah. That's hilarious.
Did you find it on Untapped?
I did. I can cover it now. Let's see. So we've got.
I'm interested. I'm not going to try to open up another app, so I'm going to have to log it later. But I'm going to give this like a 3.5 to 3 3/4 star. Probably.
Yeah, you're exactly right on par. We've got 13,000 ratings on here. Basically 250 in the last 30 days. So that's damn good. 6.6% ABV, 56 IBUs. And it gets a rating of 3.67 bottle caps. So,
yeah, I mean it's got a nice mix of pine and citrus. So yeah, the IBUs it seems to me a little more bitter than 56 IBUs, but that might just be the hop. I mean it's got a nice bitterness to it, a definite IPA kind of bitterness.
Okay. So it's here's.
So this brewery was founded by vets, I think, is what that's why they named it Service.
So that's why. Okay.
Brewing. Yeah, Savannah, that area. There's a lot of military bases in Georgia. So I think this was founded by some former vets.
Okay, so that's good to know. Yeah, that's a good reason to go there and have a beer. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, then the growler store that I go to, my buddy is he was a vet. He fought in Iraq and Desert Storm 1. And it was also in like intelligence. So yeah, it's always good to support vet-owned businesses. Are good.
Yeah, I served during Desert Storm, so that's the original, I guess, Desert War. I guess if you want to call it a war, there's nothing but white flags everywhere. It was very, very little fighting, but it looks like a good beer. It's available year round. They do can it. So, it looks like a good solid one, man.
Yeah, it's good one. And we see more and more of there's a lot of breweries opening up in Georgia, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's always a good thing, right? So that
this is the perfect beer for drinking while you're sitting in your garage in your Volt during a power outage. Two thumbs up.
2 thumbs, yeah. 2 thumbs for Service Brewing Company Rose IPA, right? Compass Rose IPA.
Yep.
That's awesome, man. Hey, thanks, Mark. Thanks for joining, man, for sharing that beer with us, man. Let's see who else we got in the chat. We've got Andrew. We've got Rod J. What's up, man? We've got Earth in there, and of course my mother. So.
What's up, Earth?
Hi, Mom.
What's up, Earth?
Mom approved.
This is a mom approved show. We do have moms that tune in regularly for this show to keep us in line. You know what I'm saying?
So okay. So they have soccer moms. Do they have craft beer moms now? Craft beer moms? Crafty moms.
Crafty. I would think. Yeah, I think they have craft beer reviewer moms. Yeah, I think that's So yeah, they keep us in line. You know what I'm saying? They keep us in check. They give us the old virtual wooden spoon still. Yep. My mom would have to have the biggest virtual wooden spoon. She prides herself in that kind of thing. Hey, Bum, what do you got for us, my friend?
Well, my warm-up beer tonight, I'm happy to announce, was Sam Adams, the return of Sam Adams Black Lager after, I'm going to guess, a 3 or 4 year absence.
I haven't seen that one in a while.
New label, and unfortunately, it's only available in the fall variety pack.
Oh, that's why.
Okay. Yeah, it used to be part of their regular line. It was around for a long time. Obviously, it didn't sell. or it would not be just in the fall variety pack
Right.
now. But Sam seems to put a lot of bad beers in their variety packs, but they also seem to hold back some of their best beers for the variety one. So I love this. Schwartz beer is one of my favorite styles, and I was so happy to see this back again. So that was my warm-up beer. My official beer for tonight, and this is my 5th straight week of Oktoberfest. Mark, last week you missed Yingling Oktoberfest last week.
Oh, okay.
This week I have from Penn Brewery in Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh's oldest craft brewery, their Penn Oktoberfest, in a can. And as far as I know, this is the first year this has been available in cans, to the best of my knowledge. And I have my Penn glass, and I will say this is pretty lackluster.
Oh, bummer.
Is it better or worse than Yingling?
I would say worse. I would say Yingling was a little, but you know what? My palate might be a little bit fouled by that delicious Sam Schwartz beer.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, those are pretty strong beers. I mean, pretty flavorful beers.
Yeah,
Schwartz beers are. Yeah.
And just one additional little thing here. I noted, and it took a while to notice, this is so well done, I almost didn't catch it. Penn's been canning their beers for a while now. This is the first one that I've seen that has the plastic sheath on it instead of being printed directly on the can. So
they put so there's even more
it's
detail.
Big shrink wrap then.
Yeah.
Because they could put quite a bit of detail on that. It's probably super cheap, right? Well, a lot cheaper probably than printing.
Probably less than a painted can. Yeah.
So that's this week's Oktoberfest. I plan on doing a couple more each week leading up to my vacation week when I am going to have a very, very cool Oktoberfest beer on my vacation.
Okay.
You know what
week is that? What week is that, Bum?
That would be the final week of October.
Okay.
Or next to last week of October.
Okay.
Oh, so and that there's a good tie-in with now the secret that Bum's not telling you is you can order the new iPhone the end of October, and that's when he actually planned his vacation. So you can pre-order the new iPhone.
That's why I brought that up, Joe. So
yeah. Now that's what we want to know. Have you pre-ordered, Joe?
Yeah.
Pre-ordered?
You can't pre-order just yet. That's what I'm saying. The pre-order is the end of October. So.
Okay.
And then it's going to be released the iPhone X, that is, which is the top of the line.
$1,000 if I hear it right.
$1,000, man. Well, we're going to get into that here in a second.
Okay. Yep. Let's go into that. Yeah.
Let me cover this beer really quick, and then we'll get into that. So the Penn Oktoberfest, 11,400 ratings on here, 355 in the last 30 days. 5.5% ABV, 25 IBUs, 3.49 bottle cap rating. So, kind of middle of the road. Some people like it, some people don't. This is what it sounds like right there.
Yeah.
And then it is comparing it to
anything around 3.5 seems like a good, just a drinkable beer.
Yeah, sessionable beer.
Not
really.
Great, not bad.
Right. So you have Great Lakes Brewing Oktoberfest. This is Oktoberfest season, really. Pumpkin beer, pumpkin everything season. It's where you can hardly go in your grocery store or wherever you buy beer and not see pumpkin something, right?
I saw pumpkin also the other day.
Yeah, pumpkins. Okay, yeah. I saw something that was kind of unusual. I'm trying to think of
pumpkin, like a pumpkin, like tomato sauce. I was like, what the hell is this?
Oh, God. That's disgusting sounding.
Who would ever use this?
Pumpkin tomato sauce.
This is madness.
Now wait until they come out with pumpkin. Then it's going to be really bad.
Yeah, pumpkin flavored pumpkin. Boom.
Yep.
Right? Or some kind of like double pumpkin or something, right? I saw something barrel aged too that caught my attention. I wish I could remember what it was, but in any case, on the GABF front, it looks like me, Tom, and Mark are going to be there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tom, so We're all going to be there.
Oh, Tom's going?
Yeah, Tom's. Oh, yeah, you weren't. Yeah,
You
you've been
missed
gone.
that last
No.
week. Yeah.
No, Tom's
That's awesome.
going. Tom's going
Okay.
now. Tom's going a day before we are. He's going to really.
You're going to get there Wednesday?
Yeah.
Or are you getting there Thursday?
Wednesday.
Early Wednesday, so I can have all Wednesday, all Thursday, all Friday, all Saturday, and I'm leaving Sunday.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
anybody that wants to go, like I say, even if you can't get a GABF ticket, just go to hang out, man. Let's hang out Saturday. What's the date for Saturday? Is it the 6th?
I think it's the 6th. No, it's
The 6th, yeah.
It's the 7th. No, it's the 7th.
7th, yeah, that's right.
6th is when we're going to the GABF.
Okay, so October 7th, Saturday, October 7th is the big day that we're gonna be completely free there. So let's hang out, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be in Denver, if you're already in Denver, man, let's shoot me a note, make some sort of announcement on here, let us know you're gonna be there, and let's hang out, man, and actually share a beer or two or three or a dozen. So
a couple hundred.
Yeah, a couple hundred. Now, I finally booked my room. I don't know what took me so darn long, but I got around to book my room. Now, let me tell you guys, man, book your room soon if you don't already have something planned because they are filling up, man. So, I mean, it was hotel after hotel after hotel that was like, we're booked. We're booked. We're booked. You just see red, you just see like there's no openings.
Did you ever think about Airbnb?
I did initially, yeah, right off the bat I did, and I just decided I wanted to be with Mark.
I appreciate that, Joe. Well, that way, there's going to be three of us, so between the three of us, one of us should be able to find our way back to the hotel. That's what I'm hoping.
Exactly, yeah. Now, your brother's still going, right?
Yes, he is still going.
So we're going to have a nice little crowd so far, so... I'm very excited, very enthused. Heck, it's only weeks away now. We are literally a couple of weeks away. So I am very excited about it. So
there's a lot doing a lot of events that week.
A lot of events. And on that note, this is one of them. This event is happening actually right now. As a matter of fact, I think tomorrow is the deadline for this bad boy. And what it is do you have what it takes to be a Hop Crown Beer Drinker of the Year? This is last year's Beer Drinker of the Year winner, and it's from a local pub there in Colorado. Its annual competition is free beer for life at Colorado's First Brew Pub. So
Wincoop Brewing?
Yeah, Wincoop Brewing in Denver is hosting the annual competition ahead of the Great American Beer Festival in October. The deadline for contestants to apply is now, right? Extended through Wednesday. So if you're watching this show right now, and it's Tuesday right now, if you're watching it, you've got till tomorrow if you want to be Beer Drinker of the Year and win free beer for life at this brew pub in Colorado. The first round is a quiz, an online quiz. The top 3 contestants across the country in beer knowledge and unique personality will advance to the final round October 4th in Denver for a 2-hour live competition. So,
wow.
I think that's pretty cool, man. So this is one of the events already happening. Pre GABF. So,
what I also thought was pretty cool is there's certain bars out there that were having, like Sam Callione from Dogfish Head. He's going to make appearances at certain bars. The guy from Brooklyn Brewery, he's going to make appearances. There's going to be a bunch of different people going to different bars and everything. Different beers from different breweries that usually don't have their beers there are going to be there on tap. It's going to be a good time.
I put the link to that post in case anybody wants to try to find out about that contest in the chat. So if anybody wants to find out about that, I posted the link in there. I think that's pretty cool, man. You can see that lady there with the crown of hops on her head, and who don't want to win free beer for life? No matter where it's at, even if you don't live in Colorado.
Hopefully she lives right above right next to the brew pub. That would be great.
That would be awesome. Or I mean, even if you're like me and you only go occasionally to Denver, at least you know I can get free beer at this place. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, hey, you look like a big
exactly.
shot. You know, you could be a big shot. You know,
The Crown.
you know, yeah. So, and you know, I had seen, and I don't think I got around to talking about it, but there's that new stadium, and because now it's football season. We just concluded week 1 of NFL football season, and the new stadium, the new dome, I guess, in Atlanta is like pouring, I forget how many different craft beers. They have like a ton of different they upped their game. I think they went from somewhere in the neighborhood of, I don't know, 20 some different taps to now I think it's 100 and some different taps.
Yeah, they really, that stadium is supposed to be, I mean, just awesome. So I'll never go because I can't afford to, pay that kind of seat price. But it's supposed to be a fantastic stadium.
Yeah, I love going to ball games, as everybody knows, and to actually get good craft beer for everybody. Now on some of the upper levels, they do offer some of these really nice things now. And then for those of us scrums that can, that sit on the other levels, not the VIP levels, have to fend for our various Budweiser products. But
they were saying here that the number of taps, not craft beer, but just like actual places where you could go to get beer, compared to the Georgia Dome to the new one, went from like 13 to 130 or something. I mean, so they've got them all over the place now. So no matter where you're sitting, you can go and get good beer. The number of restrooms is like quadrupled. I mean, everything is just like way up. So that's good.
Yeah, and which is fantastic to hear, and he made I saw an interview with the owner, and he made an emphasis, and I was quite impressed with how much knowledge he had about a lot of things that had to do with that stadium. As far as he had a lot of knowledge on beer, I was actually shocked.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Arthur Blank, is that who they talked to? Was it Arthur Blank?
Yeah.
Yep. He's one of the Home Depot founders. He's a multi-billionaire. I don't know how old he is. He's got to be close to 80 now.
Yeah, 70 some. Yeah.
It's $1 billion stadium. I mean, literally, it's $1 billion.
Yeah.
So it better be nice.
Yeah, it's he really wanted to emphasize that not only they up their game as far as taps, but most of those beers are local. So he wanted to emphasize that a lot of those taps are local breweries, so which is good.
There's a lot of good breweries in Atlanta now. I mean, really in the last 3 or 4 years, there's probably 15 or 20 good quality breweries in Atlanta, which is nice.
Right, and so that's fantastic. That was good news. Now another thing,
I gotta say, this cup is fantastic. This cup, I love drinking in my car.
Mark might start doing shows from the actual vehicle now.
Yeah, I'm gonna do from the car.
It just works out so perfect. Yeah, they put when you think about it, there's a lot of engineering that goes into you being in that seat. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And drinking
it's
something.
A comfortable seat. Right here in the cup holder,
Just sounds horrible, but he's definitely in there.
I can describe to Mark what he sounds like right now, and we've all watched live sporting events. We've all watched live sporting events where the signal dies, some kind of technical problem happens. Then you get it's like Plan B, which is just the audio only coming over a telephone line. That's exactly what you sound like right now, Mark. You're clear as a bell, but you have that muffled sound.
Yeah. Well, it's because I'm on just the cell phone data network, so I'm gonna get hit with like a $5 bill for going over my data limit this month, I'm sure. So.
You don't have unlimited data.
Nah, I never use more than like 2 gigs. But this, when I did that thing on Friday, that share beer on Friday when I just watched for that half hour when I was driving on Friday. Remember that last week?
Yeah.
That was 380 meg. That was 380 meg over that 40 minutes of me just streaming it as I drove down the road. So.
Oh yeah.
It adds up.
Oh yeah, I guess I've had unlimited forever, so I never pay attention. So
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
one of these days I guess I will. It just doesn't matter for me. My bill's the same. So I'm still actually I'm one of those people that are on the actual original iPhone plan with AT&T. I've been grandfathered this whole time.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that's still on that original iPhone plan, you know? So anyway, let's go right at the bottom of the half hour, right, is what we call it. And it's now it's now one of the most important segments of the show where we get to see our additional co-host there, Billy D, makes his appearance for the malt liquor report, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there he is, the man, the myth.
Okay, make sure he's in frame here.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like you must keep the label in frame on the malt liquor videos.
That's right. Yeah, he's just trying to stay on course there. Yeah.
Okay, well, this is a brief malt liquor report this week, but it does reflect the world news. Obviously, the big story this week was the hurricane, and we know the devastation in Florida. Well, we did have at least one Florida malt liquor drinker, the P. Glen. The P. Glen, I will remind you, is the self-appointed fashion plate of the MLDC and also the self-appointed outdoor malt liquor chairman.
Okay.
Well, the P. Glen actually this weekend made several outdoor videos in the hurricane. And
he did?
Yes, he did. And a couple of them were, you couldn't even see what was going on. It was raining so hard. They were pretty bad, and they were pretty brief. His most recent one was Sunday at 4 p.m. He went out into the rains, and he said in the video, it's only like about a 3-minute video, he ran out of malt liquor, so I think he drank a Natty Boh Ice, but he didn't care. And I think he's got just almost everybody's respect except for the chairman. Steel Worldwide has sent him to malt liquor hell for making that video.
Yeah. I don't blame him. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what? A true malt liquor guy would have made sure he had enough malt liquor.
To quote Steel
Or not do the video. Or not do
the video, yes.
To quote Steel Worldwide, drink malt liquor, drink only malt liquor in all weather conditions.
Words to live by.
Yeah.
So I think between the P. Glen drinking the craft malt liquor 2 weeks ago, that DKML, which I drank last week, between him drinking craft malt liquor a couple weeks ago, and between him drinking Natty Boh Ice this time, that was Steel Worldwide his reason for sending him to malt liquor hell. Yeah. And
well, good on Steel Worldwide for keeping them in check, man. You know.
Well, and in the name of good taste, I won't mention some of the other comments that Steel Worldwide made in his videos. I'll just say the one regarding Florida. Anybody who lives in Florida should have moved out a long time ago because they don't sell 40-ounce bottles in Florida. Why would anyone live in a state where you can't buy 40-ounce bottles?
You know what? Sometimes, Bum, as the chairman, you have to make those hard decisions.
That's right.
You know, not everybody. It's not popular, and not everybody likes them. You know what I'm saying? But you got to make those hard decisions.
That's right. So that's really about it this week. We did have a hurricane. Oh, and I should also mention when Steel Worldwide made his videos with his comments on them, of course he made sure he was drinking a hurricane malt liquor.
Oh, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
God.
So that's it for this week. Pretty brief report.
Real nice, short and sweet and simple.
Follow the blueprint, bitches.
Follow the blueprint. Yeah. So, but on that note, on the hurricane note, we do have friends of the show that live in Florida. Of course, there's many people that live in Florida, as well as we we had many people in South Texas, man, that were affected. Just Texas in general that were affected. But right now, the emphasis is on Florida. It's affecting our friend Mark right there, who's diligently still. But you caught the tropical storm end of that, didn't you?
Yeah, we got tropical storm, wind and rain last night. We got, I don't know, 40, 50 mile an hour gusts. Luckily, these trees come down in our area, but the fair lot around Atlanta. I mean, that's just too much to these trees. A lot of trees come down, knock down power lines. Not much rain. We only get about an inch of rain. So that was pretty good.
Oh, you're breaking up.
Yeah, he broke up there, but still an inch of rain compared to, I think he was saying he was supposed to get maybe 4 or something like that. 4 to 5 or something.
We only ended up with a little over an inch. So we got a lot less rain than we were supposed to get.
Yeah, that's good because 4 or 5 could make some nice flooding in some areas.
I don't know if most people know this, but in New England, we obviously get snow, but an inch of rain qualifies is equal to a foot of snow. So Houston, they got 49 inches of rain. That's like 49 feet of snow. I can just imagine.
That's crazy, isn't it? That is, now that you put it in that perspective, that's wild. Yeah,
it's crazy.
That is crazy. But yeah, and it was the same thing for Florida too, right? Like, the storm, even though it was as bad as it wasn't as bad as they were saying it could have been. So, which is good,
I'm wondering about Barrick, how he's doing.
I was wondering the same thing, and that's what I was kind of, he's a good friend of the show. Mark has a good friend of his show that's on there every week or most weeks, and he's in Florida, northern Florida though, right?
Yeah, he's in Gainesville, and he got his power back this afternoon after about 30 hours or so without power.
Okay.
So I'm going to beat him. I'm going on 30 hours without power right now. So I'm going to beat Wes.
Wow.
Kick his ass on the power outage front.
Wow.
How's your food doing?
How's your refrigerator and all that sort of thing doing?
Oh, the refrigerator is pretty much warm. The freezer, I haven't opened it, so I don't know. But I can go down the street to Publix. They've got power, so I just went down and got stuff for dinner. And we have a gas cooktop, so I can cook things.
Right.
So yeah. So we just went to the store and bought stuff for dinner, and we're good. But I don't know I've got a chest freezer in the basement with a bunch of meat in it, so that's probably going to be spoiled. But
propane.
That's not bad.
Propane tank comes in handy nowadays in that situation.
Yeah, that's one of the perks to having solar with batteries. Is you have solar with batteries and you reduce these things when they happen, because then your batteries can get recharged still during the day. So at least you can have your essential things. I don't have a huge system. But it is enough to whereas if I bought batteries, and I don't have batteries yet,
batteries for the solar panels, are you talking about?
Yeah, they've been coming down in price. I've been paying attention to it a little bit, so that's one of my goals is to get batteries here, in the next couple of years at least, because they still are pricey, but they have been coming down in price. Yeah, during an outage like that, I mean that would be I would gladly turn off my AC, to make sure my refrigerator didn't go on out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stuff
well, luckily,
like that.
Luckily we were gone for a week, so we didn't have really anything in our fridge, and our freezer doesn't have too much in it, so we're pretty good. I mean, we might lose like $50 to $100 worth of meat in the freezer, but that's not that much, really.
Right.
It sucks, but let's meet next week.
More meat. Yeah. Yeah, I won't go into that. That one's kind of easy. Mark.
This is a mom-friendly show. We don't want to go too far.
Yeah, we don't want to go. Yeah, and that one has lots of legs. Oh God, it's killing me.
More meat.
Yeah, because
I'm all about more meat.
my goodness, you're killing me. They yeah, because when I was getting off work this morning, it's truck driver appreciation week, and so they were grilling a bunch of meat. You know what I'm saying? Bratwurst.
Oh.
So you could just imagine the lines that were flying for me, man. I was like, yay, I'm watching men eat meat. Because I'm doing my paperwork, and these other poor guys are, either on their lunch or just coming into work, so they're having a bratwurst real quick, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, I love watching men put meat in their mouth.
You must be a riot to work with.
Oh man, everybody was dying. You know what I'm saying? And they're all doing their different things with the meat, and all it was yeah, a lot of fun. But yeah, so that's it. Then Mark starts talking about meat. I'm like, oh, yeah. Anyway, man,
you don't want to eat spoiled meat, man.
So to switch the tone here a little bit, I want to make sure that we get this part in, and it's pretty serious. But this is the 16th, post 16th anniversary of 9/11, and it affected, I would imagine, most of us. Do you have anything you'd like to share, Bum? Memory of 9/11, maybe where you were at, what you were doing, or whatever.
Yeah, I was actually doing what I still do. I was on my off day, headed out, getting ready to hit the highway to head north of Pennsylvania, like I just did a couple weeks ago, looking for my schedules. And I turned around and came back home based on the what I was hearing on the radio. And I just thought I better get back home, because I've obviously nobody, had heard anything like this before. Nothing like this had ever happened before.
Yeah.
And, I just went right back home because, you didn't know what was going to happen. And I will say, speaking of my schedule collecting hobby, one of the fellas that I have known for 20 some years, more than 20 years, and trade with through the mail and email him. His name is Jim. He was actually working in the Twin Towers that day. He got out. He was there in 93 when the bomb went off?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And he knew from experience, when they told him, stay where you are, you'll be fine. He knew to get the hell out, and he got out. I forget which one he was. It was the obviously the second tower to be hit. When the first one to be hit happened, they told him, stay where you are, and he got out. And that's the only reason why he's still with us 16 years later.
Wow.
So I do know somebody who worked in the towers that day.
Wow. And Mark, you got a story you want to share?
Only that we were out of town. We were flying back to Chicago from Seattle 2 days before, so September 9th.
Okay.
And we got delayed in Phoenix, and our flight was delayed for like 2 or 3 hours, and I sat next to John McCain.
No way.
And his wife for like 3 hours. So we talked, and then we got on our plane, he got on his plane, and then we flew back, and then 2 days later, September 11th happened. So it was just kind of freaky, kind of the whole thing. And the thing that was real strange, our house in Chicago was right in the flight path for O'Hare. So all coming in to land at O'Hare, we were like 20 miles out. And we got used to that noise. But when they stopped all the flights for what was it, like an hour and a half after that, it was just weird not having the noise of the planes flying over our house every 10 minutes or whatever, and on their approach into O'Hare Airport. So that was the thing that was most weird about it, was the lack of noise from the planes coming in.
So
when they shut down the airspace,
it got quiet for you, which was a weird thing, right? Because you're used to that noise, and then all of a sudden it goes quiet. So then it becomes really surreal, because you're like, wow, we are in crisis right now. We're, this is real.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
that and the day of, we heard 3 sonic booms, from them scrambling fighters or whatever to, to do whatever they were doing. So we heard 3 sonic booms September 11th, and then it was quiet for a week afterwards, when all the flights were grounded. So that was kind of bizarre.
Wow. And Tom, do you have a story you'd like to share?
I'm probably gonna make you guys feel old, but
yeah, I had this feeling. I had a feeling. Yeah.
When September 11th happened, I was in the 5th grade.
Okay.
They didn't. Some schools they let you out early, some didn't. I was just in class, and I could tell like the teachers were going in and out of class. You could tell something was going on. You didn't know what. They didn't want to like devastate the kids. You know what I mean?
Right. So
I get home, nobody said anything. I can just remember my mom just sitting in front of the TV, just crying, and just not know. This is already once it already happened. This was already 2:30 in the afternoon, and I for a little kid, for 11 years old, you really don't know how to take it. You know what I mean? It's devastating for the whole entire country. I can just remember just driving down the roads, seeing people standing with flags and everything, holding signs up, and it was an incredible time to see how Americans can all come together. I remember I went to New York City about 2 months after it happened, and it was just, you could see all the people working, trying to pick up the debris, and it was just crazy times, man.
Yeah, I could imagine seeing it, the actual destruction, and seeing the actual cleanup crews and all that. How was that as a kid, man? Was that like, did it scare you? I mean,
it's hard to describe, because it was like, I really didn't know how to take it. I'll be honest with you. I didn't know how to take it. It was just like, all right, now we're in war, and it's just the way it is. You know what I mean? And it was just, I remember gas prices flying through the roof. They would cover 9/11 every day. 9/11 was covered every day for a good 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months.
Oh yeah, it was wall to wall.
Every day.
Yeah, that's all that was on. Yeah.
It was just a crazy times, man. It was crazy. I remember coming home from school, watching the people jump from the top. That's what killed me the most. The people that were jumping from the top. It was just like, oh my God, man. I tell myself now, if I ever work in a building like that, I'm gonna make sure I have a parachute, because you never know. You never know.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Just I can remember the coverage of it, and I can remember watching it on my TV. I was just getting off of work, and one of the guys that was coming into work, the shift prior, before you, that would kind of relieve you, if you will, would come in a half hour earlier than you, right? So there was this, half hour lag time. They were walking in, and this one guy specifically was the one that heard about it, and he was walking in just saying it to anybody that would listen. A plane flew into the Twin Towers, and we're like, I thought he was an idiot, because he was kind of an idiot dude anyway. You know what I'm saying? One of those, we all have an idiot at work, and I'm like, you're an idiot. Shut up. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And he was like, dude, a plane flew into the Twin Towers. I was hearing about it on the news. I'm like, you're an idiot. Shut up. You know what I'm saying?
I found that idiots are occasionally right once. A blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while.
Exactly. A dead clock is right twice, right?
Yep.
So it's on that note, right? And so of course, I still rushed home because some guys were turning on their radios, and you were hearing the news, and so I was rushing home, and I lived pretty close to work then too, and so I got home, and seeing it on the news and the coverage of that, it was hard to comprehend, like what is this? What's going on? And the first plane, it didn't look like that big, so you just thought it was a smaller plane or something that accidentally hit. And I remember I'm an ABC I used to be a big ABC News guy, so I remember watching who was it, Brokaw or whoever, and
Peter Jennings on ABC.
Jennings, you're right, and you just didn't know what the hell, you know what I'm saying? And then as they're covering it, the second plane goes in, and you're like, what was that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
the original coverage was a small, because I was at work, the break room, you know, when it first happened, and they said a small plane has hit the tower, and we're thinking like a little one-engine Cessna or something, and so we're going and watching it, and then the second plane hits, and we're like, that's not a, you know, this is not an accident, and that was not a small plane.
Yeah,
basically.
It was, and even when the second plane hit, you're like, well, something's going on. This is weird, right? And it wasn't until the third plane hit Washington, D.C., which actually affected, well, the New York City affected my family. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, my cousin was actually working in the Pentagon, and when that one hit, and that's what really confirmed, hey, and this is something big, man. You know, and you couldn't, you just couldn't conceive that why would someone do that? Like, it was like now, I mean, I don't know, someone, you know, takes a bat to work and threatens somebody, you're a terrorist. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, you know, now we're super hypersensitive to terrorism, but back then it was like, you know, what you were still trying to get your head around, what in the hell just what is this? What's going on? You know, for me personally, I have a great uncle that worked on the Twin Towers. He helped build them. That's what my mom's talking about in the chat right now. You know, my great uncle helped build the Twin Towers, and so I have cousins that were crying. I mean, I was crying watching it was incredibly just like my heart just broke. You know, I believe I had another cousin that worked in the towers that called sick that day. I could be wrong about that, but I thought that's what I was told. But I did have a cousin working in the Pentagon who was in the service at the time in the Army, and was lucky to walk out of that, you know. And then of course we do know about the plane. I think it was the fourth one that landed in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, so
and right outside of Pittsburgh,
Somerset County, about 90 minutes away from me. Yeah.
And we had the famous guy that, you know, that left that "Let's roll" with us all forever. I think I don't know anybody that forgets. I don't think what age you are. I think we all remember "Let's roll." You know, and that was the motto coming out of this, which helped us heal, I think. And that guy did. I would kind of love to know what come of his wife, you know, but that guy left a legacy, really, because we all remember "Let's roll," and I think that helped us, you know, moving forward, heal from this. "Let's roll" was the motivation for a lot of us to let's roll, man. Let's get out of this. Let's do this. You know, and it was very, very difficult to imagine at the time. Now, wasn't it? Like, you just right?
Yeah, it was hard to think in the future when that was all happening in the present.
Yeah.
And here we are 16 years later. I mean, you know, it's just it is kind of weird. Yeah.
And what a different world we live in now, right? I mean, it's just a night and day.
Before it happened, it felt like the world was no problems. It almost felt like.
Yeah, you think about if that, you take that same event and put it now, like we didn't have smartphones, we didn't have Americans. I remember you couldn't get Americans to even text. I remember the cell phone companies being puzzled because it just wouldn't, like, Americans wouldn't text. We had phones that could text
because they charged so much for them.
But like
that was the problem.
In Europe, texting was a big thing, and you just couldn't get us to do it. And when you think about now, how would that same event be? I mean, it would.
Everyone inside the building have video.
Oh yeah, that would be the thing. Everybody would have a smartphone, and there would be, you know, 10,000 videos of the event from inside the building, not
Yeah.
just outside, and a TV camera.
It might have been worse because some of the stuff you don't want to see, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The technology then did allow the people on the plane that crashed in Shanksville, it did allow them to call, you know, their loved ones to say a final goodbye. So at least we did have that then.
We did have that.
Mhm.
Yeah. We did have that much technology. I think there was still phones on planes.
Yeah, because I remember listening to
So
people.
that was them pull the seat back and call for like $bucks a minute or whatever they charged for it at that time.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Tom?
Those are the saddest things ever when I listen to people. They're in the plane or they're in the Twin Towers and they're leaving their loved ones a voicemail, and that's the last time they're ever going to hear from them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, leaving a message on the answering machine or whatever. Yeah.
Bye to the kids and everything. It's sad.
And for those loved ones receiving the call, like your heart, there's part of your heart that breaks because you didn't actually get to talk to that person. It was on your voicemail or on your machine.
Mm-hmm.
But you're also probably in hindsight thankful to have that because now you have that recording. Had you got the call, you wouldn't have a recording. You know what I'm saying? So what?
Yep.
You know, so
Yeah.
you
would have missed the call and never would have had the recording. There was a recording. Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of
damned if you do, damned if you don't type
right.
things. Yeah.
Right.
Just one more bit of irony from back then as far as our personal memories. Ever since I bought a VCR in the mid 80s, I just kept the tape on standby to pop it in and record anything that was coming on TV that was of, you know, my interest. TV specials, anything. It could be anything. So I always labeled those tapes miscellaneous. And I would say probably August of 2001, one of the broadcast networks, and I forget which one it was, might have been CBS, did like a 2 or 3 hour special called When News Breaks. And it was like a 3-hour special covering the history of TV news coverage of unexpected events. And it covered, obviously, the Kennedy assassination, Ronald Reagan's assassination attempt, anything that was breaking news, for the previous 40 years or so. And so that was the most recent thing that I had put on that tape, and I had that tape on standby for the next interesting thing on television that I wanted to record. And the next interesting thing, ironically enough, was the 9/11 coverage. That was my next thing that went on that tape, and I recorded about 2 or 3 more tapes worth of various local coverage of that day. But it's just weird that just a little bit before that, there was a special program called When News Breaks about breaking news events.
Did you have the OJ case?
Yes, I did. Yep, I recorded that too.
John Lennon?
No, John Lennon was 1980, and that was 6 years before I got a VCR. So, but I did record the live OJ police chase, including the Howard Stern prank phone caller who got himself through to ABC News and talked to Peter Jennings.
Oh, yeah, and Baba Booeyed him? Did he Baba Booey him?
Yes, I do. I got that live on tape.
Oh, man, he would get through. That was Gary, wasn't it? Was it?
Gary on Howard Stern show was Baba Booey, but this wasn't one of the regular Howard Stern prank callers like Captain Jenks. This was a one-time caller.
Oh, okay.
And he got through, and he got put on the air and identified himself as OJ's next door neighbor, and they put him all the way through on the national feed.
Now, that was when Howard Stern was still on the radio, right?
On terrestrial radio.
Yeah, that was, you know what? And he, I mean, I don't want to get into Howard Stern, but I mean, he signed that huge contract, and he's a gazillionaire now, but he's not quite the same, right?
No, he's not. I have satellite radio, but I won't pay extra to listen to him. His show peaked a long time ago. I'll still watch YouTube stuff of him, and it's still fun to listen to him, but I wouldn't pay.
Yeah,
I think Howard peaked a long time ago.
Well, he
peaked 2003, 2000, something like that. Yeah,
a big salute to to everybody out there from 9/11, man. Cheers to you, man. Cheers to America for coming back like we knew we would. You know what I'm saying? But it was, woo! I mean, a month later, it was still hard to conceive 10 years down the road like this is going to be behind us. Like it was the hardest thing. The only other thing to compare it to were, of course, I wasn't around then, but was Pearl Harbor. We had people like my mother actually who had vivid memories of that happening, and that was one of the biggest events on American soil. This is the biggest event in the continental United States, and it was really, 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 it affected so many of us now in present day, and it was just,
yeah. But the thing is interesting is there's such a there's people that were when that happened, so they have no. And I guess that means we're just getting old. But there's so many people now that are alive that weren't alive when that happened. So they have no perspective, and they have no memory of it actually happening.
Yeah.
So that's kind of strange.
Time marches on.
Well, that's what I thought was great about right now, because we have a pretty well-rounded show, even though we only have a few people in right now in the actual video part. But we have a good chat, and there's been a lot of people conversating about it, and what I like is we have Tom in here, because Tom brings that younger perspective from how was it like being a child in that time, and his memories of that now, and that's he has enough of a memory of it where once 9/11 comes around in the future, he'll more than likely reflect on his memories of it and remind his children, and of course it starts getting washed down over the years, but if for us now, and it's still going to be around for quite some time, man. That really that changed this country.
Yeah,
that
it did, but it didn't, because when it happened, I remember everybody saying, "Oh my God, we're fighting about the stupidest stuff, bickering about the most petty stuff." And we realize now that we shouldn't be doing that. We're all one country. Well, we're back at that point again, where, I mean, every day there's something in the news where we are bickering and fighting about the most petty stuff again.
Oh yeah.
Somebody is tweeting, or
it goes back to it, and it goes back to it so fast. We have something like hurricane, like Harvey hit, and within a few days of that, everybody's going back to bickering, and then that Irma hit.
Right.
We got a day or two, and then they're going to go back to bickering like tomorrow.
Yeah. Right. Well, yeah, because that's how fast things move these days, right? Now, on a better note, just so we go out of here on a little bit better note. And not so down. People don't have to go get drunk right away. I do want to talk about the new iPhone models. Today was the huge release, and I'll go just a little longer than the scheduled hour for the show.
Yep, please do, because I had no power and no Wi-Fi, so I missed the reveal.
So now we have 3 new iPhone models. I am a huge Apple fanboy. Those of you that have been watching the show know that I love Apple everything. Now my current iPhone is the iPhone 6 Plus. So it was that first generation of the big iPhone. So I'm on 3 years now. So I'm ready for this phone. So you've got the iPhone X, which is the top of the line, iPhone 8 Plus, and the iPhone 8. The new iPhone X is a 5.8-inch Super Retina HD display, and then you have the iPhone 8 Plus, which is a 5.5-inch Retina HD display, and then the iPhone 8, which is a 4.7 Retina HD display. Now, the iPhone X is the one that has the complete screen. It has the slimmest of little bezels around the edge, but it's pretty much wall-to-wall screen now. The whole iPhone is a screen. They all have a 12 megapixel camera in them, with the iPhone 8 Plus and the iPhone X having the wide angle and telephoto cameras. Now, Touch ID in the iPhone 8 models and the iPhone X has the Face ID. So I think they said there's 130,000 dots that it puts on your face to completely mask your face and differentiate, tell the difference between your face and Tom's face and my face. It has that in there. They all three have the A11 Bionic chip. They all three have wireless charging. And
that's a pretty big difference, 64 gigs to 256, huh?
Yeah, so there's basically two models. You've got a 64 gig model on all three of them, or a 256 model version on all three of them, which is a hell of a lot of space. That is tons and tons of space. I won't go into all the other stuff. There's tons and tons of stuff. So you can go to apple.com and check out all that. I'll go into the pricing a little bit. You have the iPhone X is expensive. It's one of the. I have AT&T, so I'm going to click AT&T. I don't think it matters. The price is the price. So the 64 gig iPhone X, top of the line, 64 gig is $999. So that's $1,000.
You almost might as well go for the 256 for almost $150 more.
So yeah, the 256 is $1,149 for a phone.
Oh man! So well, that's what you're getting, right, Joe? That's what you're getting.
I doubt it. I'll probably just get the 64 gig. I mean, it is absolutely absurd to pay $1,000 for a phone. I'm one of those idiots that'll do it. You know what I'm saying? I've just got it. I've got to have it. I mean, but I've been waiting 3 years. Now, the problem with this, and let me go quickly into the other models as far as the price on those before I jump too much into. So for the iPhone 8 Plus, you have the pricing is, I hate that you got to click. I wish they would just put a blanket thing across all of them. So $799 is going to get you into the iPhone 8 Plus for the 64 gig, or $949 for the 256. Once you start hitting $900, you might as well get the Plus, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
You might as well pump it up, yeah.
But some people are going to want the Touch ID. And all the iPhone models do still come. They come with earbuds, so you're still going to have wired earbuds, but it's going to connect through the Lightning connector. So there's still no headphone jack, but they give you one. So they're going to get a Lightning to 3.5 millimeter headphone adapter. You're going to get your power adapter, and then the Lightning, the USB cable for the power adapter. So you are still going to get that. The regular iPhone 8, which is the smaller one, but some people prefer the smaller one. I have a couple friends that do have the smaller one now. Now you're going to get in the door for $699. So $700 is going to get you in the door on that. They all have per month pricing plans, so you have the option $34.50 a month for 2 years. So you can pay $35, $34.50 a month for 2 years for that phone, or the 256 is $849 altogether, or $40.75 a month for 2 years.
They're trying to upsell you.
Yeah, now that is zero interest, though. I do have to say that it's zero APR, so you're getting an interest-free loan on. So for those that want a particular, if you want the new iPhones, you can get it on a payment plan. I think that
I'm just getting a new Motorola phone. That's all.
There you go.
Yeah, it's absolutely
that's crazy.
It's ridiculous. At the same time, yeah, I know I'm gonna get now the pre-order. Like, I don't think you can. I think that well, the iPhone 8 you can get pretty quick. I think they're They're going to have the pre-orders for the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus, like in a few weeks, maybe.
Okay.
Something like that. But the iPhone X, you have to wait. I believe it's October 27th, I think, is the pre-order date. And then you get the phone in November.
Yeah, it probably comes out at midnight. Okay. Remember last year, midnight was like, once it hit midnight, you had to be there and ready to buy it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me see when they're going to have the pre-order. They don't say on here, but
the real question is, do you get the Apple Care?
I never get Apple Care. I never get Apple Care Plus is what they're calling it, but I never do get it.
Because if you get the insurance through your provider, do they cover it?
They do have. I think it's basically the same thing. I've always just gone with the standard years that I get on the iPhone. I've personally been okay. You know, that $200 to get in the door on that warranty, it offers a lot. Now, if you take full advantage of it, yeah, you get technical support, you get a whole bunch of stuff. But I've had many iPhones and I've never had it on any of them. I've been just fine. The ones that have broke on me or bricked up on me past the warranty, Apple always offers like some kind of refurbished model of the same model you have at a pretty deep discounted price. So I've just kind of found like it's got to be substantially, like let's say this new phone is their most expensive phone, right? So maybe in the past it's been $200 for the replacement phone. So maybe it's $400 now. Well, that's still only $200 more, and I didn't have to pay for that. I don't know. It's just, I've just never done it. And I've only broken one screen out of all the phones I've ever had, knock on wood right now. But I've only broken one screen, and that cost me a little over $100 to fix at Apple.
So but not. You're going to pay for Apple.
Yeah, so it's just never been worth my while. That's me personally, though. I know a lot of people love the Apple Care and get it on every device. I've never bought it on anything, and I've been perfectly fine.
On the plus side, it's waterproof and dustproof, so that kind of helps you out a little bit.
Yeah, right. So, and then they also had the new Apple Watch, the Apple Watch 3. Which is has built-in LTE now, so whatever number you have on your phone, you can now have. Let me see if I can go to the watch part of it. Yeah, so here's the watch part.
Hey Joe, did they say anything about the update when it's coming out? Because I got the iPad Pro. I'm just waiting on it.
I think the update is coming pretty soon. I don't remember. I literally woke up and had like 15 minutes to catch up on some of this stuff. So I don't know all that. But at 9/22 is you can order the new watch. 9/15 and then 9/22 is when it'll be available. The pricing I'm not sure on the new watch. I think it's still under $500. Let's see what's. I'm not sure about does it say the pricing here? Maybe learn more. Let me click on that. View pricing.
Apple Watch.
Let's see real quick. I don't know. They're making me scroll. Okay, so yeah, $329 is what it looks like.
Okay.
So $329 is not bad. I think that's cheaper than what I paid for this one.
You paid $349 for that, Paula? You got first gen, right?
I got the very first gen, yeah. I want to say with the wristband, I know the wristband was $50, and I want to say with the wristband, I was right at somewhere around $500. So
that makes sense.
But this one does have the built-in LTE, so you can. Whatever number you have on your phone, you can use on your watch now, and there's a bunch of other features that are improved with it as well. So, if you were thinking about getting a watch, that's certainly available. They have the Apple TV now, which now has 4K.
Nice.
Yep.
I've been wanting to get that.
I might be interested in. Yeah.
So now the new Apple TV has 4K, and it will start streaming Netflix. They did make that announcement. Netflix in 4K, and Amazon,
Wow.
the Amazon app when it comes out will be in 4K.
Nice.
So for those of
Oh,
you
so
that,
when the Amazon streaming comes out?
yeah,
Okay.
when that comes out, you'll be able to get that.
That's
So
nice.
the current Apple TV is 149. The new 32 gig will be 179, and the 64 gig will be 199. I can tell you from
Okay.
experience, I have the new the current 32 gig. I've never needed anything more than a 32 gig on my. You know, I don't have crap tons. I am a cord cutter, so I use my Apple TV whenever I watch TV. I mean, that's how I'm not watching regular TV, but I'm streaming Hulu and I'm streaming everything through my Apple TV. Plex is another one. If get to know Plex, love Plex. If you're a cord cutter, so for me, 179 would be just fine for 4K. There are some smoking deals on 4K TVs right now. You can get, like, I've seen a 65-inch 4K TV for like $400.
Wow.
So make
That's
Walmart
crazy.
There has been some crazy sales in this past month. So those of you that haven't been keeping your eyes on TVs, the prices of TVs, some of those TVs are smart TVs too. So they're, they already have the built-in Roku 4K into it. So if you were to buy that TV, and I know the 55 inches have been as low as like $350, $300, and they have some of them, like I say, some of the models have built-in Roku, so you can have the benefits of having a Roku, and then if you have an Apple TV that has 4K, so now you've got 4K coming from everywhere.
And we got Friday coming up pretty soon too.
I mean, I've got a 31-inch Panasonic tube TV in the basement from 1997. Did that do 4K?
Yeah, I don't know about that one, Mark. I don't know about that, but
right.
It might, you might consider, not necessarily have to, but you might consider upgrading, maybe,
You think so? I mean, all I do is watch it when I work out. I mean, but yeah.
But
the thing weighs like 300 pounds, so it is a workout moving up. I mean,
it is, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Giant.
If you wear your Apple Watch while you're doing that, you can measure you can get all the measurables from that. I know that they upgraded the heart rate sensor and a bunch of other little health related things in the new watch. So that I may or may not upgrade, because I do have to say the heart rate sensor in my watch stopped working. So
okay.
I know there was some sort of thing going on with the back sensor on the first gen, the very first Apple Watch. That's the one I have, and I know there were some issues with that, and that's what made the heart rate sensor fail. These new the Apple Watch, what they call the Apple Watch 1 now, I think Series 1, and the new one that are coming out, I'm sure they've highly upgraded that. So they did make it a point to definitely say that they did. I don't know the specifics on, like I say, I didn't have a whole lot of time to really dig in deep to a lot of the features, but I just wanted to touch on some of the key things in the pricing and get that out there for those of you that watched the show but didn't necessarily see the update either. So thank you, man, for everybody that tuned in. Mark, thanks for the effort, man. I appreciate it.
Outside, see, look, my car is dark. See how dark it is out there?
Yeah, it's
no power.
I'm still, as you can see, the ambient light in here, the reflections behind me in the pictures. We've still got some light, but it's going to be going down quick. So
I'm on 30 hours. I beat Wes on power. I'm going for the record.
Yeah, we'll definitely hit up Wes on Mark's show. Now, Mark hosts his show every Sunday at what time Eastern? 6 o'clock Eastern. Okay. So 6 o'clock Eastern, check out Mark's photography spot on YouTube. Bum, Tom's, I mean, everybody in the chat, Mom, head coach, gosh, Andrew, there's lot of stuff happening in the chat, man. So thank you to everybody that jumped in on the chat, man. I really appreciate it. Everybody that tuned into the show, thank you very much. And to those that suffered in 9/11, and those of us that remember 9/11, cheers to everybody. Everybody in the hurricanes. God, there's just so much going on. And cheers to a new iPhone. Okay,
Coming
guys.
soon.
Right on. We covered everything, man. Boom, right? And cheers to GAPF.
Well, we didn't talk about killer sex robots. We got to talk about that next week.
Oh yes. There was maybe on the Friday show. We'll cover it on the Friday show.
Friday show. We'll do killer sex robots.
There was that's a huge tease to tune in for Friday's show. The killer sex robots. Huh? Would you get one? So, yeah,
I got mine in order. I don't know about you guys.
That's the teaser for Friday's show. Yeah, well, I didn't even have a chance to get to that one. We were jam-packed wall to wall with this show. So, cheers to everybody. Thank you for all your support. I really appreciate it. We'll see you guys on Friday, man. Peace out.
See ya.
All right. Bye.